bitch, you a bird, you thigh, you learn, you see, I earn, you stop. A word, I shoot, no rim, I'm high, you burn, I'm me, that's him, you nah, that's word.
Mike Owens here. Today I'm joined by Impa Kasanganay, PFL 2023 light heavyweight champion, and a good friend of mine who's back in action facing Johnny Eblen just over 2 weeks' time. Impa, always a pleasure, my man. How are things for you today?
Oh man, it's great, Mike. Thanks for having me on, man. It's cool to see you. I mean, how long have we been talking for now? Is it 3 years? It feels like 4.
3 years.
3 years.
We did the live gig in Cardiff back in 2021. We obviously tried to cover your career. I actually did check the record. I haven't spoke to you for around about a year, so it's good to catch up. But how was the last? No, we haven't.
A year?
We spoke for your first fight in the 2023 season, and then I don't think we could make the other dates work. So how has the last year been for you? Obviously, a lot's happened, but good to catch up.
Man, blessed. All's going well. Grateful. Got the title. Started the Challenger series, so very, very happy with that opportunity. Man, and like, where do I even start?
I'm here with your winner, the 2023 light heavyweight champion.
Motorcycle trips, PFL Europe cards, going to those. Man, I moved a couple times from the farm to it's called Delray Beach. Now I'm running this house right near the gym in Deerfield Beach, near Kill Cliff. I got a puppy now who's chewing on a box. Man, I'm getting ready to travel. Like I said, my sister, she's graduating high school tomorrow, so go see her, train, and man, it's on the move.
Well, congratulations on the win. We obviously have to talk about your title win back in November. The fighters that I've spoke to who've fought in the PFL, the likes of Anthony Pettis, Rory MacDonald, Kayla Harrison, have all said that the tournament is the hardest thing to do in sports. Did it live up to your expectations? Was it as hard as you maybe originally thought it would be?
I don't think it was really hard. To me, it was fun. It was like I could see what they're saying. Maybe it depends. Like, respect to them, like maybe how they approach it. But for me, it's like, all right, go get in a fight. That day's over. It's the next one. So it's really one fight at a time. It's not 5 fights. Yeah, you get 5 fights. Like, I fought Challenger. They have that additional fight to, get the title. This fight coming up, 4 more fights to get the titles again. Title on February 24th. I will fight title at the end of this year as well, in November or whatever that fight is. But hard. I think it was challenging, but in ways. But I had fun. I loved it. And the thing is, too, I really wasn't cutting weight. And 85 is not much of a cut either, if it was 85, but I would say it's like the Iron Man of fighting, for sure, right? Like, there are people who dominate Iron Man races, and they keep doing it, and and there are people who do it once, and they never want to do it again. So I think it depends on the fighter. So I think it could be more challenging, for sure, and I like that, so I want like a more, like a killer's row. I want more fighters. So like, if it's Rob Wilkinson, Shoe Face, Johnny comes back goes in the season at 205. Like, I want the best of the best to get to the title. I don't want like, this guy's okay, this person isn't. I want the best of the best and keep moving forward and keep showing that. So I don't know. I guess I can see what they're saying, like, because it's the most active you'll be, but I don't know. It wasn't necessarily hard.
That might be your outlook on things, because you do always have a positive outlook. So that might just be a reflection on you rather than the rest of the PFL roster.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's a fun life we get to live, so I don't see why doing it without joy, So I don't know. It's like, I love the fights, and man, keep lining them up.
I was disappointed I couldn't be in the room in DC to watch you lift the title. Obviously saw it on TV. But describe that feeling to me when you knew you had it and you knew you were PFL world champion.
Man, it was cool. So, man, like, all respect to Josh and every fighter before the season, like, I knew it, challenger to champion. Same with this one. February 24th, Clinton had victory. End of this year, Clinton's victory. In the same way, I speak about it now. I don't pray it's not arrogant, and that's not what I'm wanting to portray, but it's like, I knew it, man. I said, that's the only reason I'm here, right? Get this title. Of course, the money will come with it, but I love to fight. And like, at the end of the fight, you see I push Josh up against the cage. I have him like clinched up, and I'm yelling. I'm like, I'm world champion, right? And I'm about to not, but I'm yelling in his ear, right? Like, I'm a world champion. Not necessarily yelling at him, but I'm like, thank God, like, because I prayed for it, I worked for it, my team sacrificed for it, they've worked for it, we put the work in, and it's like, thank you. And that for me that for me is a big blessing, right? So it was like a prayer answered, and it just showed me that like if you keep believing, you keep trusting God, you keep working hard, you keep pressing forward and staying the course, that like it's all possible, you know. And it's cool too talking to you, because we talked in Cardiff, and I wasn't even in PFL. I think we mentioned, hey, it'd be kind of fun to fight in PFL, right? I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool. And then like here we are, right? And it's one of those things. It's like, man, I remember literally the first thought I had after the fight though was, I gotta get better. I gotta get back to practice. You know, like it wasn't even woo, let's go. And I was screaming, I was looking at my coach happy, you know, but in my head it was like, all right, we're way better than this. And I'm grateful that I got this next one coming up.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's kind of move from past to present, if you will. So we then obviously have the news of the Bellator PFL merger, and then straight away there's rumors of who's going to be matched against who, and then you find yourself matched against middleweight champion Johnny Eblen. Your overall reaction when the Johnny Eblen name was posed to you, Bellator versus PFL champion?
Yeah, dialed in, excited. You know, for me it was just really cool, because like I was respecting my great friend Aaron Jeffrey. And I was like, when people ask, would you fight Johnny, Nemkov, you know, with the Ngannou fight, all that, it's like, yeah, I mean, I thought, you know, I thought Aaron Jeffrey was next in line at the Bellator title, but it's cool because it's like, it's a champion versus champion title. So it's still a middleweight title. And, you know, I pray that they schedule that fight, whatever God's plan is. But man, when I got that fight, I was like, this is what I've been praying for. You know, the best, wherever they are, and I got to take them out. If it was Nemkov, it'd been Nemkov. If it's Johnny, it'd been Johnny. And to me, it's like, it doesn't matter who. I don't get overly excited, underexcited per matchup or opponent or enemy. You know, it's like, all right, this is the next in line. This is what I have to take out. This is my job. I got to do my job. Let's move forward. I was like, yeah, like, can you make 85? I'm like, for sure. You can still make 170. So it's like, for me, it's just like, let's fight. Like, I was more grateful. I am more grateful that I get to do what I love again, more so than it being, oh, it's this person, you know?
Yes.
I respect him and all that he's done. He's an excellent fighter. He's done awesome work. Well, February 24th, they go dominant claim the victory. And it's not for me to boast, brag, or like say, but I just I know who I am, and I move forward, and that's it. Like, I don't take away from another man who's done solid work.
No, 100%. You mentioned there, obviously, the fight will be taking place at middleweight. You obviously have won the light heavyweight championship last year. Obviously fought at welterweight, so there's certainly a question about where your weight class is and maybe which your best weight class is. We could debate that all day long, but from your opinion, if you had to give me a weight class, what is your actual weight class going forward?
I mean, to me, it's a loaded question. So for me, it's like, I don't see weight classes. I just see like, all right, I signed, I went to the fight, I was this disciplined, and I go there. I don't care about a weight class. It's like it's fighting, right? So for me, it's like, you know, I maybe realized the most known success at 205, but my experiences at 85 and 170 are what helped me get to here today, right? And that's what made me a better fighter. It's like, I'm not just a weight class guy, you know? My focus is to be the best fighter to ever do it, past, present, in the future. Time will tell, God will tell, you know, that's my focus. And that's it. I say, I gotta do my job. Let people know they're unconditionally loved, and then like enjoy the fights. You know, like enjoy the domination. That's it. Like, for me, it's not a weight class. Like, I would say, if you're walking down the street and you're with somebody you love, like your mom, your girlfriend, your partner, and somebody slaps them on the butt, somebody pushes them, you're gonna ask them, what weight class are you? Where do you train? No, you're gonna go. You're gonna go, and you're gonna take them out. And that's sort of my attitude about it. Whether I train with the heavyweights or they say, yeah, people get hit. It's like it's a battle. It's a fight. Like, yeah, can you bleed? So what? All right. What matters is, at the end of the day, my hands are raised. I claim victory, and people know they're unconditionally loved. Like, that's it. And I literally focus on that. And I focus on that, and I'm doing what I love. So it's like, weight class, man. Sign up. How cool would it be for me? Like, I think it'd be kind of fun. Fight PFL light heavyweight season and fight in Bellator at middleweight. So like during this year. So I don't know. I got to pitch that to PFL. So I'd love to do both, because I mean, I know I can fight almost hopefully give me like 9-8 fights this year. I don't know. It's just let me fight more so than like the weight class. That's how I look at it.
But I do feel like you maybe changed some people's opinions in terms of you went up not one but two weight classes. I don't think we've seen many people go up two weight classes and have the success. Have certainly on paper in terms of your career, the most success you've had two weight classes up. That seems to be quite an anomaly. And I think maybe you've maybe in some ways changed perspective on people cutting too much weight and cutting down to the lowest weight class they have. They possibly can, rather than going a little bit higher up, maybe sacrificing a little bit of size, but being optimal in terms of your actual energy levels.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I think a lot of people get so caught, oh, I gotta be bigger than this person. Man, I like fight that person. And I think maybe I learned that from when, I don't know, it made me think about it now, but when I first started training and fighting, I was 235, 245 pounds, right? Like when I first left college football, just, like walking around. And I was getting, like, my butt was, my guys were 125 pounds, like 170. I was like, this is weird. But yeah, I hit him. I would feel it, but it was not much technique. It's like, it's about being a better fighter, not so much the weight. And I think I learned that then. It's like, well, how do you out fight, out hustle, out work, out class, out strategize? And if it's time to be a dog, it's time to be a dog and go. It's never just the weight or the weight class. It's such a weird thing to me, And then people balloon up anyway. So some people fight 155 and they are walking around 210. So you say, what is your real weight class anyway? It's like some people stay around 165 and fight at 155. It's like, I think it's your head, it's your heart, it's your spirit, it's your soul, it's your mind. The weight class is a good way to organize things, and there is some general truth to it, I would say. But maybe not all the times per fighter, but I would say for me, I'm my own case.
PFL have obviously come out and said this will be the first year of champion versus champion, but this will be a format that will continue year over year. It is something the fans have talked about for a very long time, about seeing the best in one organization fight the best in another organization. So your overall emotions about going into what is a very unique and hopefully a long-standing position between the PFL Bellator roster.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, for me, how cool is it that you're going to be a two-way class world champion? How cool is it? And that's within 3 months or 4 months of the last fight, right? I don't know if that's ever been done before. I don't think it has, but it's going to be. And yeah, I mean, you see how boxing has suffered in some ways. The best don't fight the best. Like, I don't have to talk trash. I don't have to do anything. I got to show up and do what I love. And to have that be an opportunity. And I've always wanted to be a multiple organization champion too, right? Take out the guys formerly Bellator middleweight champion. Out comes victory. I know who I am. I'm not seeking validation from people. It's just like, I know, like, man, like these are answered prayers. And I remember journaling about things like this for a long time. So now it's like, that's cool. And I love that they didn't shy away. I think Don Davis said among this card, there are 22 champions. Like 21 now with Magomed falling out, but 22 champions. Like, that is special. Like, people who become champion, wherever you go, and you have the best of the best who you can get are all fighting one another. That's awesome. What an exciting time. What an exciting opportunity, and what a blessed time to be a part of it. I'd be like, yeah, people talk about my career and talk about my life. Like, take all that away, it's still really cool. I'm just grateful that it's like, oh yeah, you went through all this, and like, look where you are now. Look where you are now. Look where you're going. So for me, I'm grabbing the bull by the horns and just and running with it, and I'm loving it.
We talk about that because you mentioned that. I remember in November there was a lot of media articles written, or a lot of things said about the trials that troubles that you've had in your life to where you got to now. I've always felt very privileged that since I started in my journey, I've been able to cover your career right from I think it was the Sasha Palatnikov fight in April of 2021, something around about there where we first started speaking, excuse me. But it's obviously been going on a lot longer than that. So I'd like to give you the opportunity to talk about, give me a little bit of a walkthrough of your journey to where you are now and kind of how that feels to be in the position that you're in. Yeah,
so like, man, I take it back to when I was a little kid. I did a project on Muhammad Ali, or somebody had the same month or birthday as me. I have the same birthday as Muhammad Ali. We share that birthday. I was like, this is pretty cool. Who's that, Dad? My dad's like, you don't know who Muhammad Ali is? He fought in the Rumble in the Jungle, and I'm like, oh, what? Then I was like, wow, I'd love to box. My parents were like, no, not until you get paid for it on your own. Fast forward to college, 23, turning 24, see a fight on TV. It might have been a Bellator fight. And I'm watching and I was like, I'm going to do that. Looked at some research on it. I was like, well, I don't want to do accounting only for the rest of my life. So I got to do something that's like high speed. There was special ops military. And there's a thing fighting that I never done before. But ever since I was a kid, I used to pray like, could I be born as a warrior in another time or a gladiator? And like, look where we are today. Finished up college football, and they're like, the gym I started training at, like, if you want to pay your gym dues, you can take a fight. I'm like, sure. I went from 235 pounds to 185 pounds still the fight 3 weeks. But I, started to wake up early about a week, and that was not fun, but it was a lesson learned, and it was great. Made weight, was underweight. Won the fight, ran the circle, rode right hands. And I remember sitting in this small warehouse auditorium where they had the fight, the Memorial Warehouse. And I was like, okay, God, like, this is where we're going to go. There's something special about this. And if I'm going to do something, be champion. Get a great accounting job. And they're like, well, to give me a promotion. And they say, well, you can't go trade. I'm like, well, I'm leaving. So then I wasn't getting paid yet. I worked back at this grocery store that I worked at when I was in high school. My parents weren't too happy about it. But I said, hey, if I'm out of the UFC in 2 years, I'll go back and get my certified public accountant certification. Thank God I got in the UFC in about a year and a half, too. And man, like, what a journey. Like, made the debut, Maki Patolo, second fight in the UFC, knocked out by Buckley. Oh, Lord, everybody's like this. I said, play that highlight as much as you want. But the day I'm the champion, play that highlight, too. And I'm grateful they're playing that highlight. So God is great. Sasha Palatnikov, I meet you. And I go to 170. And I moved down to Sanford. It was television now, Kill Cliff, but it's December 3rd, 2020. I drove straight to a client's house, and I was like, I'm coming out here. And I said, lead me to the wolves. I'll return leading the pack. And Kill Cliff is special. It's the Lions. It's the Wolf Pack. It's the Killer's Row. It's all these guys. And I'm growing myself to get to a point where I have opportunity to lead and represent the best that I possibly can. And I'm grateful that I had the title last year, and I still have it forever. But I look at it that, man, I have so much more to accomplish, and you haven't. Like people say, you haven't seen anything yet. I mean, that was the beginning of the beginning of the beginning of what it's going to be. And like next fight, it's like, oh wow, like dominate Johnny Eblen. It doesn't take away from Johnny Eblen. It's just like, I know who I am. And you look at all these different moments in your career, in your life, and like sleeping in the car, living on the farm. But I'm like, man, those were such blessings in my life that, and you talk to people over time. Cardiff, like rode a motorcycle around Cardiff, got literally before Delano's fight, the motorcycle breaks down. I'm an hour away, and Ardmore by the sea, in the Bristol Channel swimming. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was hours ahead. But this guy gives me a ride on the back of his motorcycle. Drops me off right at the venue, come in, Delano knocks out Ray McDonald, and I see you after. We're talking, how cool would it be to be in PFL? That'd be cool. And man, the next year, right, in the hospital, staph infection, really bad. Like I had to move off the farm. A friend of mine let me stay at their place for a little bit. This time last year, I wasn't even training, and I signed the fight for PFL. They didn't know I was packing like an 1.5 inch deep wound in my leg every day with like some medical gauze until the wound actually healed and closed. Kept getting sick. I got really into photography, so stay tuned for that. So that's been pretty cool. Shout out to Ryan Loco, and some people really taught me some like different parts of the trade. So I'm still learning. Amateur photographer for sure. And then it's a PFL Challenger Series, literally last week of the Challenger Series. And I think I get the contract, which I do, but I find I'm an alternate. So I fight Corey Hendricks. And then all these people pop. And you're like, oh, okay. And it's like, I remember saying challenger to champion. Like, now it's champion to champion, like forever. And God, I started doing what I love again. It's like, man, I'm fighting, I'm active. This is what I like. Man, before the UFC, my first 6 pro fights were within 5 months. So I'm like, this is what I do. Let's this is awesome. PFL has been just so many opportunities, blessings. And now you'd be part of major history, MMA history. It's the first event, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, PFL vs. Bellator, fighting one of the premier fighters in MMA history in the world. They'll claim this victory, and it's gonna catapult my team and I to new dimensions. And I'm grateful because my mom and dad can still check me. My coaches can still check me. I have great friends that, you know, that I come back home to. Like, you and I are still talking. So it's cool because, like, you know, like the temptation, right? You can make it in a way, to certain standards, and then lose yourself, or you can become more grounded than ever. And my prayer is like, God, like, I'm gonna claim these victories, keep doing this. I don't want to do it without you. We have Joanna on the other side of this call, and like, you be so many people. Like, I have a publicist now. Man, I was sleeping on a farm on a yurt, like hanging out with cows, you know, like watching our chickens, like making sure coyotes didn't kill the chickens, you know, pythons coming on the farm. And now you're like, publicist. I have a shirt that says "Call my publicist," and my teammates make fun of me for it. You know, I have a business, Impa's Refinery, that's been growing, training clients. Chilobo's Trek, where I'm telling, you know, stories in life. And I just got a really, really cool inquiry from a company that you will definitely hear about and know. But man, one company already working out right now, working with Triumph motorcycles, my favorite motorcycles. But then another company just reached out, and I'm like, God, you're so great. I've been watching their stuff and everything they've been doing. And they reached out. I'm like, let's go. But like things like that, you're like, committing to your adventure is what I say it is. Like, you're a journalist. This person, this person, me, this person's an artist, and they're committing to adventure in their life. And I get to do that. And I'm also still get my MBA, focus get my PhD, started looking at MBA applications, and looking at some remote accounting positions right now, you know, to just keep up the education. Like, and I have time to do it, man. And I tell people this: I'm walking and living in answered prayers, and like living my life on vacation. I get paid for it, and that's like, if you say my journey so far and what continues to be, I've been doing my Bible verses of the day and just like thanking God for it, because I promise this. When I was sleeping in the car, I called the Steve Harvey prayer. He was homeless too. He had all this stuff going on, and he was like, "Hey God, when I make it, I'm gonna tell everybody you got me here." And that was my prayer. I said, Lord, like, look, I don't mind. I'm in the car. I go to the gym. I train. I'm happy. Like, I'm cool here. But the day I make it, I'm just letting everybody know you got me here. Not to press it on people, just to let people know they can be free and you know, live their dreams and they're unconditionally loved. And I'm getting to do that. Like, I'm praying we go back to Cardiff, because Cardiff was cool. You know, so like all these different places. And that's my journey so far, man. Like, I'm loving life, you know, like it's cool too. Like, I'm single, no kids. I got a puppy now. So just like traveling the world, you know, free, but you know, one day it'll be, hey, I'm calling you, and then I'm married. Then one day I'm calling you that I have kids. So it's like, I feel like there's so much more. And like, I mean, I was training the other day. It's like, man, you could be so much better. And that's a cool place to be. That's a cool place to be. So I don't know, you have me reflecting and thinking right now. So I'll go on forever. But that's the journey so far. That's the journey so far, yeah.
No, well, I appreciate that, and thank you for the detail. I've got one more question for you, Impa. We must talk about the day job. We could talk about you all day. We've got to talk about the day job, haven't we? This big fight with Johnny Eblen in just over 2 weeks' time. Past the win, past getting the victory, which I'm sure is of prime importance. What else are you looking to show when you step in the cage against Johnny Eblen?
My best version of myself, my most focused, my most disciplined self. You know, one who respects his opponent. And I believe that the power, like what Bray Lewis always said, the power of respect is never disrespect. One that really truly shows respect. And two warriors go to battle. And, you know, when I claim that victory on top, it's going to show that just how great it can be and am and going to be, and like who I believe I am and that's called me to be, but also a representation of my team, a testimony to sacrifices made, and you know, a commitment to discipline, right? A commitment to discipline and like true domination, you know, show my arsenal, right? Part of my arsenal, and just what I have in it, and to get to represent what my trainers have been teaching me, and that now I'm not a boy anymore, right? Like that. Like I remember when I fought Buckley, and when I fought in the UFC early on, and all these different things. Like, your boy, I was just loving to fight. I was excited. Let's go. Like I could care less. Like, we just throwing down, and it's like, oh, we're winning. But like, now it's strategic. Now it's mature. Now it's, you know, like his verse says, when I was a child, I thought in childish ways. When I'm a man, I let go of my childish ways and acted as a man. And that's my focus, right? Like, it's yeah, you could say the $1 million, you could say this, you could say championship. Like I'm more driven, hungrier, and focused than ever. And that, for me, is what I'll show in the cage. And, just by faith, I'm moving forward.
I love it. Impa, it is truly always a pleasure to get your time. It's been a pleasure to chat over these years and in all honesty, to have seen the success that you've had over 2023. And I wish you the best of luck for this next fight and your continued success, my friend.
I should receive it. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Good talking to you.
I want Nemkov and I want Francis Ngannou. I want all the best. I'm not playing around. I'm here to be the best to ever do it, past, present, and future. I thank God the UFC cut me. I'm here to be in PFL and dominate.